Hi, my name is Pepe, I'm 21 years old, and in today's video I will be showing you how I play against the Caro-Kann in an over-the-board game. I will do a game analysis, and yeah, let's get right into it. So the Caro-Kann is, after e4, black plays the move c6, and the point is he wants to strike with d5. So I go d4 because, you can get the whole center. The Caro-Kann allows it temporarily. And now he goes d5, striking back at the center. And the point is, if you take, you can take back with the pawn, and you have kind of an equalish pawn structure. But I play the main line. I play knight to c3. Now I'm defending this pawn. So if he takes, I can take back with the knight and have a nice pawn on d4 and also a knight on e4. Now the most reasonable approach is for black to challenge this knight right away with either knight f6 or bishop to f5, and there's also here a line which is knight d7, which is the Karpov variation, where the point is that if you go, for example, knight f6 directly, white can take and double these pawns, but with the move knight d7, and for example I play something else, then he can play knight f3 now, and now if I decide to take, you can take back with the knight. That's the whole idea, not doubling the pawns, so keeping a very nice pawn structure here intact. But my opponent didn't play knight f6 or knight d7. He went for bishop to f5, and I go knight to g3 here, attacking the bishop. Now the bishop drops back to g6, and that's a very nice scope here. This is all main line, and I go h4 here. Now the point is if black plays nothing here, you can go h4, which is already almost winning here. And after this, I'm not even sure what to do here, but apparently rook h4 is the best, which is a little bit crazy to me, but okay. Let's say rook h4 here, and then maybe c4 here to kick this bishop around here. And this bishop is now maybe bad. Yeah, you can directly, play bishop to d3, maybe bishop e3, some sort of things here. But the point is that, this is very awkward for black. So what black does is he doesn't allow it, so he plays the move h5, and this is already a mistake. Why is this a mistake? Well, it is a mistake because now this g5 square is very weak, and also this f4 square, so we can make use out of it, and we do it. If we play knight f3, we don't really accomplish anything here, because he has the move knight to d7, and now I can't play knight e5, which I want to play, to maybe attack this bishop and take it, right? So there is an alternative move here, which is the best, which is knight to h3, and the point is to play maybe knight f4 and tickle this bishop. So if you can win this bishop, we will be very happy here. So my opponent played kind of the only move in the position, which is e5, and this is the best, which is sacrificing a pawn. And the point is imagine I take here, then he can trade queens, and my king is in the center, and he's saying like, okay, for example, I develop the knight, I want your pawn. For example, if I go f4 here defending, he can already castle long, and we can see the rook is very active, the bishop is very active, and my king is very unsafe here. So I thought, well, black has definitely compensation for the pawn. So I thought, well, why would I allow this? I will play bishop to e3, just defending this pawn. And if he takes here, I will take with the bishop, not with the queen. I could take with the queen, but I think here keeping the queens on the board is much better because I have much more development and space. So he took, I take back with the queen, the bishop, sorry. And now he went queen takes h4, and when he played this move, I completely missed this move in the game. I thought, well, this is just impossible. How can he take a pawn here? This looks like I'm almost, trapping this queen. So I was calculating a lot here, like, how can I trap his queen? Is there a way? And I found out there wasn't really a way to trap his queen. But I went on for something else here. I wanted to play queen d2 first, but I calculated a line which was unclear for me. So I thought, well, why not just play queen e2? That is just better, getting the queen off. And then I can castle long and, harass this queen, which is a possibility. But in all of those lines, I am much more developed, which is much more important than just one pawn here. So I played queen e2 check, not the best move, but still keeping the advantage. he goes back with the queen, and this is kind of the move I missed here. So now I was kind of maybe panicking a bit because I was down a pawn. I was thinking like, shit, am I just gonna be in a worse endgame here? But I thought, well, not really here. I think I have enough compensation here because my pieces are very active. So I kind of trusted in that instance that I had a lot of piece activity here. Okay, so I played knight f4, trying to take this bishop. Now he took. I will take back with the bishop. Now I am threatening to take this pawn, and he takes on c2, which is a mistake. Very difficult position, by the way. Now black is up 2 pawns, and my position is much better, which is a good sign, I think. Because with best defense, he's only down 1 point of material, so to say, if we can translate the engine's advantage to like material considerations. Okay, I play bishop takes h5, not the best move, but still I'm threatening here. Bishop takes f7, king takes, and we win the rook. So he needs to be careful here. Very tricky position. Now he goes knight to h6. Now the point is, if I take here with check, then he can take with the knight and defend his rook also. So I was thinking, well, that's maybe a good move, but now I think, okay, king to d2. But I missed here a nice tactic here, which is knight to e6 here. And you can't take due to the pin, and I'm threatening knight c7 check, forking the rook and the king. So for example, knight h6 here, yeah, here rook c1 is wanted, but okay. This is something I missed. I missed this move, knight e6. But I thought, well, I have a very clear advantage here. I can play king to d2, and I can activate my rook here and, you know, harass this king very annoyingly. So he goes c5, and this is, I think, the last big mistake here. I go bishop just back, and now my bishop is just, like, all my pieces are very active, and the bishop is still hanging. So he needs to move it. He didn't. He played bishop to d6. Okay, I will take your bishop. He will take my knight. But now I just have a very straightforward move. Bishop takes g7, hitting the rook and the knight. He went rook g8, and now I just win a piece very easily. I will take. He takes, and after bishop to f3, now the bishop is hanging on h6, but also I'm threatening bishop takes b7, and I will be winning a full rook there. So I kind of saw this. I thought, well, I'm just completely winning here. He played knight to c6. Yeah, now I thought, well, do I take here first? Well, no, let's just not give him any activity whatsoever. Just take the knight off, give him this ugly pawn structure, and then take the free piece. Now I'm up a piece, and I also have a better pawn structure. I should be easily winning here, with the king also being weak. He goes king d7. I throw in a check. He goes king c7, and after I move the rook on the d file to d6, I am threatening to take on c6 with check, which is virtually unstoppable. So my opponent resigned in this position. So a very nice game in the Caro-Kann. What we can take away from this game is very much how much fun you can have against the Caro-Kann when black is violating opening principles here. For example, here h5 already. This is an inaccurate. This is not, I think, a big mistake, but we capitalize very nicely on it by moving the knight to h3 and tickling this bishop. Now this is kind of the only move black needs to find, but I think here when he takes and then takes again with the queen here, we can see that black is very materialistic, which is a bad thing in chess, and I just have a lot of development already. I can move my bishop out. I have almost 4 pieces out here. And eventually we get to a position where I am down material, but I have so much piece activity that, you know, the engine says it's still kind of equalish, but it's very hard to defend, right? Because my piece activity is so overwhelming. So he goes, the best move here is, for example, rook h6, which is a crazy move to find, right? What is this move? And eventually we get into a position where I'm just completely winning here. After 5 moves, my opponent collapses here, and we win. After a couple of nice exchanges, just a full piece here, the bishop on h6, and this is kind of over already. So yeah, a very nice game. I'm very proud of this game. I never had this line on the board before, but now I can see the strength of the knight h3 move in the opening and the speed of my development, which just gives me an overwhelming advantage here. So yeah, if you have anything to add to this video, please consider commenting on the video. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing and liking. And have a great day.